Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bad Bookers Wrestling Podcast. My name is Jack and today we have got a Monday Night Raw review. The same day every week, Tuesday afternoon, morning, whenever. It's not the same time, is it? We need to get a regular time slot for this Raw review. Monday Night Raw then, not going to lie, fell asleep with like an hour and a bit to go. Went to go watch it. Watch the highlights instead. So if the notes for the review kind of dwindle a little bit come the last three matches, don't be surprised. But I got notes for the rest of it, so let's crack on. But before we do crack on, go down, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new around here, and leave a comment on how you thought Monday Night Raw was as well. So we kicked the night off with Stephanie McMahon already in the ring. I don't know if they just got the memo late, or it was just to save time to get Stephanie already in the ring. She welcomes everyone to Monday Night Raw, but before she could introduce Becky Lynch, here comes the man. Her music hits. She comes walking down to the ring, still selling the knee injury with a brace on. A lot of comparisons to Stone Cold coming up. Don't worry. Stephanie introduced her properly when she was in the ring, and we then get a couple of video packages of last week with Ronda and Becky winning the Rumble. But after we watched that, Steph says not many people can stand in the face of an angry Ronda Rousey and just stand there smiling. And Becky says she's got a lot of things to be smiling about. She's got a WrestleMania main event match. She's won the Royal Rumble. These fans are giving me a reason to smile. But then Steph interrupts her and goes, yeah, but you've still got a knee brace on, so are you okay? Are you fit? And Becky's like, yep, I'm fit. I'm good to go. And obviously Becky getting the knee brace after the attack, if you will, from Nia Jax, the Rumble. Stephanie then reveals that Becky Lynch has been refusing medical treatment, medical attention, and Becky says that she won't let any doctor come near her, obviously after the Survivor Series when Nia Jax broke her face. Such a dumb comment. I'm still getting annoyed by that comment. As soon as Becky went to see the doctors, that lost her match with Ronda Rousey then. So Becky said she doesn't want doctors' attention just in case they try and take a WrestleMania main event from her. Steph then says she can't let Becky compete unless doctors clear her, unless she's like 100%. Becky cannot compete. Becky then, something switches in Becky and she goes all out at Steph. She says that she's fought her entire life to get where she is, to get to this moment right now, and Stephanie hasn't fought. She doesn't know what struggle means. She hasn't had to struggle at all in her life, and all Stephanie wants to do is stop her from achieving her goals, and that is main eventing WrestleMania. And you know, Steph comes back and says that it's a liability to let her wrestle with an injury. Like, you can't do it. I just feel like the whole CM Punk thing's going to come back. And if she doesn't see a doctor, Stephanie would have no other option but to suspend Becky indefinitely until she gets cleared. Becky carries on refusing, so Stephanie McMahon suspends Becky Lynch to kick off the start of Monday Night Raw. She goes to walk off. Becky grabs her arm, turns her around and punches her in the throat and just goes all out on Stephanie McMahon, trying to wail on her, but to limitations because her knee kept on, falling out from underneath her, I guess you could say, crumbling under the pressure every time she put weight on it. Becky then goes to refs and whatnot come out. Becky then goes to attack Stephanie some more, but once again the knee just kind of gave way on her, and that gave Stephanie time to like walk off, kind of run away kind of thing. Becky didn't look too happy, but she managed to walk away just about, and we had a commercial break, and as we came back from the commercial break, we had Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey kind of cross paths in the corridor as Becky was getting escorted out of the stadium, and Ronda says that it's unprofessional how she's not trying to sell their pay-per-view. She's just attacking Stephanie McMahon, even though, you know, Ronda spent first months, attacking Stephanie McMahon. But I guess that was to sell her match at Mania with Stephanie McMahon. So yeah, I think that's fine by me. But Ronda keeps on calling her unprofessional, and putting possibly the first ever women's main event of the women's revolution in jeopardy, and it's all about her and not about anyone else. As Ronda goes to walk off, she just looks at Becky's knee and go, what was it? Ice and Advil. I don't know what Advil is. I assume it's like a painkiller. But she goes, bitch. She goes, ice and Advil, bitch. That's it. But she said it quite fast. You couldn't understand what she was saying at first. But you understood the word bitch. And that always gets a pop in a PG era WWE. It was a pretty good promo. It's looking more and more likely each week that Ronda Rousey's turning heel, which I quite like. As long as we get a Ronda Rousey that isn't trying to be friends with everyone, I'm fine with that. But that was the opening segment to Monday Night Raw. That was quite a long one, wasn't it? Ronda then goes out to the ring because she was having a match with Liv Morgan in this one. Ronda playing out still. She's still kind of pissed off with what Becky Lynch has done, putting the main event in jeopardy and whatnot. And Liv Morgan is playing to that, like, every time Ronda gets nearer, rolling away, ducking outside the ring and whatnot. But it didn't take long before Ronda Rousey caught Liv Morgan and made her tap out in quick fashion. She then calls out the crowds for booing, and she calls out the Riot Squad for just standing there staring at her, and she calls out Sarah Logan for another match. And luckily this match went a little bit longer. I'm not going to say that Sarah Logan's better than Liv Morgan, but Sarah Logan's a bigger, stronger competitor than Liv Morgan, and it actually made Ronda Rousey think, like, oh god, this is a kind of a test. But yet again, it was a longer match, but it didn't take long for Ronda Rousey to get that arm of Sarah Logan and to make her tap out. We then had Ruby Riott, who teased wanting a match with Ronda, but then they went back to Gorilla, and she said that she wanted to have a match. She will have a match. She will beat Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title, but it has to be for the Raw. I don't want a random match on Raw. It has to be for the Raw Women's Championship. And at this moment of time, Liv and Sarah are hurt, and we gotta. They need me. They need me. So maybe they're teasing a future match between Ruby and Ronda. I would quite like to see it, but I'm not too fussed. I'm not too fussed. 4-corner match for the number one contendership for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Obviously, last week on SmackDown, we had a 4-corner match between Usos, New Day, The Bar, and Heavy Machinery, wasn't it? And this week, we had a match between Heavy Machinery, once again, Lucha House Party, the B Team, and the Revival. But for some reason, this one was different to last week. Last week was Elimination. So when someone got pinned, it was Elimination. This week, it was first pinfall wins, basically. And it ended up... That's why I didn't write any notes for this, because I thought, oh yeah, I'll just write the notes about who gets eliminated and whatnot. The Revival won the match because they pinned the B Team, and I was like, oh, so they've won? Okay then. So at the Elimination Chamber, we are going to get Roode and Gable versus the Revival once again. I just feel this time the Revival might pick up the win. I don't see why you would keep putting the Revival into title pictures, especially with all the rumours that are going around with them asking for the release and whatnot. Just to have them lose, you might as well not have them there and have have other teams. Make Chad Gable and Bobby Roode look strong by beating various tag teams, not just the same tag team. And it also made that match at Royal Rumble pre-show even more pointless. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, Revival and the glorious team of Roode and Gable will have a fight at Elimination Chamber for the tag team titles, probably on the pre-show. We then had Kurt Angle come out and address his future. It looked like he was going to have a retirement speech and he's going to retire. He was saying how, he's not as good as he once was. He's done everything in the business that he can. But before he could properly say that he was going to retire, or allegedly going to retire, that was what everyone was thinking anyway, Baron Corbin came out and said, blah, 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 come on, Kurt, what are you doing? Just get on with it. And Kurt then says, look, Baron, you're pissing me off, basically. Come down here and I'll snap your ankle in two. which leads Drew McIntyre to come out and says, Kurt, what are you doing? 1 minute you're saying you've accepted fate, you're saying that you're going to retire, and then the next minute you're calling a man out that not only took your job but beat you last week. And they both Drew McIntyre and Baron Corbin go down to the ring, looked like they were going to attack Kurt Angle, but then Braun Strowman's music hit, and the Monster Among Men and the Olympic champion made the two heels scarper, if you want, made them run away like the little bitches they are. And that set up a match for the main event of Raw, tag team match, Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman versus Drew and Baron Corbin, which we'll get onto that in a bit. Another women's tag team elimination chamber qualifying match. Oh, so many words. The Boss and Hug Connection, Sasha Banks and Bayley, versus the weird team of Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox. The start of the match didn't go quite as planned for the Boss and Hug Connection. I don't know if I'm going to keep calling them that. That's such a stupid name. Anyway, Sasha's music hit, but then Bayley came flying out of the stage setup, and basically Foxy and Nikki Cross even were laying into Bayley and Sasha. Apparently Sasha's not been cleared, and it shows, because she didn't enter this match at all, and they barely touched her in this altercation as well. I think the only indication they had was Nikki Cross kicking Sasha in the bum. I think that was about it. But they laid out both Sasha and Bayley on the stage, and then they walked down to the ring thinking, we'll get a count-out victory or something. But that didn't happen. The match was all Bayley. It was pretty much a handicap match. Sasha was stood on the side, but it was all Bayley. Sasha didn't tag in once. Finally picking up a roll-up victory over Foxy, and they're going to the Elimination Chamber, Sasha and Bayley. So hopefully, if it's true, hopefully Sasha is cleared in time for the Elimination Chamber. But it's a bit weird how you're having one storyline where you've just suspended someone for not going to get cleared, but you're letting someone rest, but reportedly letting someone wrestle who hasn't been cleared. If it's true, okay, like at least she didn't do anything. But just be careful. Just be careful. Up next, we had the match between Elias and Jeff Jarrett. This was the last match I watched, by the way, before I fell asleep. Basically, nothing to do with the quality of the match, because Jeff Jarrett actually seems like he hasn't lost a step since his old days. I know he's been wrestling quite a lot for I think he's wrestled for ICW in Scotland, but he's done a lot with a Mexican company. MLW, is it? I can't remember. He's done something in a Mexican company anyway, and so that's kept he's got a bit of a gut on him, but he could still just about go. Road Dogg, on the other hand, a bit too much flab on him. He was out of breath singing that song that they sing. Elias comes out after them two having a nice little sing-song in the ring. Elias comes out and just absolutely buries them both. I can't remember what he said, but so he said to Road Dogg, "Why are you over here? Aren't you supposed to be on SmackDown tanking their ratings?" or something like that. Basically, Elias just destroyed them on the mic and then won the match in the ring as well, hitting the drift away onto Jeff Jarrett and picking up the victory. But it wasn't long before Road Dogg came in and attacked Elias from behind, and then distracted Elias enough for Jeff Jarrett to smack the guitar over Elias's back, but it didn't break, and it looked like it legit hurt Elias, so fingers crossed he's okay. Please gimmick your guitars a bit better so they actually break, or if this one wasn't gimmicked, don't use it. Don't use it. But yeah, hopefully Elias is okay, because he was on the outside kind of like, I couldn't tell if he was selling it, but it looked like quite a hard, stiff shot because the guitar didn't break. We then had the 3 matches, which I've just kind of caught on highlights because I didn't watch them live, unfortunately. Finn Bálor defeating Lio Rush. I thought this match was against Bobby Lashley. Something must have changed, and Lio Rush got in the match instead, Finn defeating him with the coup de grace. I assume at Elimination Chamber we're getting an IC title match between the two. I would quite like that. Not Lio Rush and Finn Bálor, obviously, even though that would probably be a good match. I probably need to catch that in full somewhere. But Bobby Lashley and Finn probably at the Elimination Chamber, not inside, hopefully. EC3 finally made his in-ring debut. There was a moment of bliss where EC3 was the guest. Nia Jackson came out, which then led out Dean Ambrose, and Dean Ambrose interviewed EC3 and kind of buried him a little bit, making fun of him, saying, where's EC1 and 2, etc. It popped the boys in the crowd. It was good. But then they had a match, and EC3 rolled up Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose did not even attempt to look like he wanted to kick out. He just kind of led there and took it. Whatever. It's Dean Ambrose. Whether it's a work or not, he's still leaving, isn't he? So at least he's putting over talent on his way out. EC3 picking up the victory, and then the main event was this tag team match: Braun Strowman and Kurt Angle versus Corbin and Drew, which Corbin and Drew won via disqualification, I guess, because Braun Strowman didn't. He wasn't a legal man. He didn't get out the ring. Basically, he kept on staying in the ring. He kept on attacking Baron Corbin, and that's what got them disqualified. But it didn't matter because the faces got the upper hand as they left anyway, as Braun Strowman chokeslammed both Corbin and Drew onto the steel steps. Yes, good. Monday Night Raw, I'm going to give it, considering I fell asleep, but I didn't find it boring, but I didn't know if I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it just 2 3/4 stars, I think. Is that harsh? No, I'll decide between 2 3/4 and 3 stars when I get to it. It was an okay Raw. I was just shattered. I didn't fall asleep because it was bad or anything, but the Ronda Rousey stuff was good. She needs to slow down a little bit though. She still talks really fast, I guess. And the 4-way match, the tag match was fun, but keep the rules the same. Like if 1 week you had an elimination one, have the elimination one again. Sasha Bayley versus Foxy and Cross. Nikki Cross was a heel after last week being a face. It's kind of like getting a Dana Brooke treatment. It's like, I don't know what's going. Elias, Jeff Jarrett, although it's weird and it's just a nostalgia act, it's quite fun, isn't it? At least Elias is picking up wins over them and keeps on showing them in their place, kind of thing. But I do hope this kind of leads Jeff Jarrett to maybe be Elias's manager, something like that. I think that'd be quite cool. The Finn Balor rush was apparently quite good, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. Becky Lynch, definitely man at the start of the show, was obviously excellent. Both women doing their part, and then the Ronda Rousey stuff afterwards was pretty good. So yeah, 2 3/4, 3 stars maybe. If you did like that, please drop a like on the video. Please subscribe if you are new around here. Remember to comment down below what you thought of Monday Night Raw, and I shall see you again tomorrow for SmackDown Live. Thank you very much for watching.